Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing wonderfully well and welcome to what is almost certainly going to be a really interesting sea power battle. You guys have asked me to run a sea power competition to find out which is the best AAW anti-aircraft warfare vessel. Now the problem with that is that there's over 100 vessels in the core game of sea power, plus probably another 50 plus in the user workshop. There's just too many to test. So I've decided to change the brief slightly. I'm going to allow 2 vessels in each decade. So 2 in the 1960s, an American and a Soviet, 2 in the 1970s, 2 in the 1980s, the 1990s and the 2000s. This will limit the amount we have to test, but at the end of the day it will still give us pretty much the best AAW vessel, and as well as that we get to learn about the progression of weapon systems and AAW technology over 50 years or so. So first, let's look at the vessels I've chosen in each era. First, 1960s. For the Americans, I've chosen the mighty Sea Cube. We have USS Long Beach. I wasn't a fan of this when it first came out in Sea Power because, well, look at it. It's a dog's dinner. But as I've learned about the technology and how important it was for its time, I now love it. I love Sea Cube. For the Soviets, 1960s era, I've chosen the Kynda class guided missile cruiser. Then 1970s. For the Americans, I've gone for the Coontz class guided missile destroyer. For the Soviets, I've gone for the Kresta II guided missile cruiser. For the 1980s, for the Americans, I've gone for the Leahy guided missile cruiser. I should have said, by the way, that the Long Beach is a CGN, so a nuclear-powered guided missile cruiser. For the Soviets, 1980s, I've gone for the Slava guided missile cruiser. For the 1990s, I've gone American Ticonderoga. This is a 1980 fit VLS. I think that's Bunker Hill there. For the Russians, this is going to be a bit controversial because I'm not actually sure if this vessel actually existed or not. We'll talk about this a little bit later. It's a 1990 refit of the 20,000-ton Soviet Kirov battlecruiser. For the 2000s, we don't actually have any Soviet or Russian vessels yet. Maybe at some point someone's going to start adding in Gorshkovs and whatnot, but we don't have them yet. So just the American, Arleigh Burke, and we're going for a Flight 2A. Now today is going to be obviously about throwing swarms of aircraft at these vessels and seeing which can shoot down the most or defend itself the best. But for it to really have any consequence, and what I'm trying to get at here is look at the progression of weapons over the decades, we need to learn about the weapons and the weapon systems for it all to make sense. So first we're going to do a bit of talking and then we will go and do the battle. So we start in the 1960s. Let's go with the Long Beach. Everything that I'm going to talk about today is my understanding of the weapon systems thus far. If I make mistakes, I apologise about that, viewers. I'm very much learning myself at the moment, and I encourage you please to correct me in the comments. In fact, first, why have I chosen these vessels? You may look at these vessels and say, hey, you should have had a Tycho in the 1980s or the Leahy in the 1970s or whatever. I've chosen these vessels for a very specific reason. It's not about the vessel per se, it's about their weapons that they come with in core game. Relating to the time period, I've put them in and that'll make sense as I go through these weapons. So first, Long Beach. She has 2 types of missile defense, Rim 8 for long range and Rim 2F for medium range. Rim 8 long range, the mighty Talos. Range, a staggering 130 nautical miles, and this did get kills in real life against MiGs in the Vietnam War. Entering service 1955. Now, as awesome as it is, and it sounds amazing and these figures are brilliant, it has also many restrictions. First, its rate of fire is terrible for physical reasons. The missile physically has to be assembled prior to launch. But as well as that, its guidance is very old-fashioned. It has 2 types of guidance. For the first part and for the majority of its journey, it uses beam riding guidance, switching to semi-active radar homing in the last few miles. Now, beam riding means that the Long Beach has to dedicate one of her antennae, of which she has 2 to guide the Rim 8, that one and that one, illuminating the target full time. The Talos missile simply then rides along that beam, and when it strays away from that beam, it corrects and gets back on the beam. It means that we're using one of Long Beach's 2 Talos antennae full-time for the majority of the journey of the missile. What does that mean? Well, if she's got 2 antennae, it means she can only ever support 2 Talos in the air at once. That's a massive restriction, especially if you're firing at 130 miles. The missile will take several minutes to do that journey, and you can only support 2 missiles at a time. So, awesome missile for the time, but massively limited. Next, we come to the RIM-2F. I believe the original version, the Terrier, was the first surface-to-air naval missile the Americans ever had. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The original variants of the Terrier were beam riders as well, and so had the same restrictions as the RIM-8. But we've actually got a Foxtrot model here. This had improved motors, doubling the range up to 43 nautical miles. And as well as that, she was semi-active radar homing for the entire of her course. Next, we need to understand semi-active radar homing and the advantages of it. So what happens with this is the radar of the Long Beach illuminates the target, a signal is reflected, it goes back to the Long Beach, but it also goes back to the missile. The missile has a listening antenna in it, but not an active antenna in it. Why is that good? Well, a listening antenna means it is very light, which keeps the missile light, especially in the era where miniaturization was a problem. You simply couldn't have active radars in missiles, or you'd end up with a massive missile, bringing the AIM-54 Phoenix. The missile will interpret that data and make course corrections based on it, but that's not enough. As well as that, it needs guidance from the mothership as well. So the mothership, presumably with a separate antenna, sends out continuous wave guidance to the missile. So the missile receiving reflections directly from the target and guidance from the Long Beach is then guided all the way to the target. The good thing about semi-active radar homing is it's very accurate and it can be used at very long ranges. It's probably the most common type of missile guidance for long-range missiles. Another massive advantage of SAR is that we can guide multiple missiles with just one radar, just one antenna. So let's say we have 2 targets, one here, one here. We illuminate them, we receive the signals, the missiles receive the signals, and as well as that, Long Beach sends her continuous wave guidance to the missiles. Now, that continuous wave guidance can be shared between the 2 missiles. So we can give a bit of guidance to this missile here, then a bit of guidance to that one there, and then that one there, and then that one there. Meaning we can support multiple SAR missiles during their mid-course at one time. Now, when that missile gets in its terminal phase, so just a few miles away from the target, then the continuous wave guidance it needs from the mothership cannot be interrupted. Obviously, it needs to be perfectly accurate to hit the target. So when it's in its terminal phase, it needs all of the mothership's guidance. But as soon as the missile terminates, then the mothership can start supporting multiple missiles again. So what does that mean? Well, it means that as long as there's not more than one SAR missile in its terminal phase at once, it can support multiple missiles. How many? Well, that depends on the missile type, the transmitter type, and whatnot. But obviously, it's a marked improvement over the Talos and earlier Terrier restrictions. Next, I'm aware that took a long time, viewers, probably longer than it should, but it's interesting and important to what we're going to try and do today. By the way, viewers, there are, I should say, naval missiles with active radar homing, i.e. active radars in the missiles themselves, like the SM-6. In modernity, 1960s Soviet vessel is going to be the Kynda, scourge of the seas of the 1960s. I'm reading about submarines hunting Kyndas in the 1960s and 70s at the moment. Its weapon was the SAN-1 Goa. You may know it as SA-3. Its land-based variant, 18 nautical miles. And it's command-guided. Well, what does that mean? It basically means it's like a remote control aeroplane or a drone. It does not receive reflected signals from the target. It just listens to the mothership. So the mothership of the Kynda illuminates the target, receives the reflection, calculates any adjustments the missile needs, and then just controls it like a remote control plane, and it will have a little antenna hanging out the back or something like that. Next, 1970s. So, Coontz destroyer. Why have I chosen this? Well, it's because it gets this weapon here as its primary weapon, RIM-67A. SM-1, so the first standard missile, extended range, so it has the booster section at the back, and the first block of it. Introduced in 1970, and I should say the Kynda's Goa was introduced in 1961. So, 1955 to 1960s for these missiles, 1961. 1970 for the SM-1 ER Block 1. Range 45 nautical miles, semi-active radar homing for its entire journey. For the Soviets, 1970, Kresta II missile cruiser, primary AAW weapon, SAN-3A Storm or Goblet. Radio command guidance again. Range 30 miles. Next, in the 1980s, Leahy non-nuclear cruiser. Primary air defense weapon, RIM 67B. So we move from SM1 to SM2. And in fact, I have an observation here, viewers. I need you to help me. The Terrier looks identical to the SM1, which looks identical to the SM2, which looks just like the SM6, and so on. Why do they all look the same? Why haven't they varied? Is it simply because that as a new missile comes out, it has to fit in the VLS of the previous ships in service? And doesn't that mean that we'll never, ever, ever be able to change the shape of the missile, which seems really inefficient? Or have I just got that wrong? Let me know your thoughts, please. Anyway, why have I chosen the Leahy and this missile? Is because it came into service in 1981. And remember, the SM1ER Block 1 had a range of 45 miles. The SM2ER had 98 nautical miles, more than doubling the range of the SM1ER. Semi-active radar homing, as the rest of these missiles will be. Why do some ships carry the ER version and some not? Well, it's due to the size of the magazine, you guys tell me, and a missile cruiser like this has a massive missile magazine, therefore the ability to carry extended range missiles. Next, the Slava for the 1980s. Primary weapon is going to be the S-300F Grumble. This ended service in 1984, and an interesting observation I have, viewers, is that this is designed to be fired from a VLS set on the ship, stern or amidships here. And I think the Soviets had working VLS on their ships before the Americans, which really surprised me. They have a kind of rotary configuration rather than the two-dimensional matrix configuration of the Mark 41 for the Americans. I believe this VLS was up and working in 1984. The Americans' first VLS Mark 41 was on the Bunker Hill 1986. The missile is a converted S-300PS, I believe, with a range of 52 nautical miles. We've moved from command at this point to semi-active radar homing. Again, multiple missiles can be supported in the air by one antenna. We also have close range Gecko, range 8 miles in the VLS. Next, we move on to the 1990s. For the Americans, of course, it has to be the Ticonderoga. With the VLS started being added on American ships in 1986, starting with this vessel here. Primary weapon is going to be the RIM 66H MR Block 2, so that is the SM2 missile, the medium-range non-boosted variant of it, and the Block 2. The RIM 66H, I believe, was the designation for the first SM2 that could fit in a Mark 41 VLS. If I've got that wrong, then please correct me. Semi-active radar homing, obviously. Range, staggering, bearing in mind at this point we're still a medium non-boosted range of 90 miles. What an absolute beast, and it shows how technology has developed over the last, 30 years, when Terrier, the same size missile of this, could manage, 20 miles? Now we can do 90 miles. Unbelievable. How many missiles can be supported in the air at once? I don't actually know, but let me know your thoughts, please. Now, it's going to get a bit controversial here, viewers, because I've chosen a Kirov 1990 fit. A bit controversial because I'm not actually sure if this fit ever existed. Its primary weapons are going to be threefold. First, the S-300F we've looked at, also the Gecko we've looked at, but this here, really important weapon, the Gargoyle, introduced on land in the PMU-1 and PMU-2 S-300 variants. It's an improved version of the S-300. Range 83 miles, known as the S-300FM or modernised F. F meaning naval, M for modernisation. My original understanding was that this 1990s fit never existed, i.e. Kirov never got the Gargoyle, but I'm starting to be convinced that I'm wrong on that, viewers, and I think actually Kirov did get the Gargoyle, so please let me know. So we'll go with it, and if we have to remove its final score, we will. Finally, for the 2000s, obviously, we don't have any Russian vessels in sea power, so we've gone for the Arleigh Burke for the Americans, and we've gone for the Flight 2A variant entering service or commission year 2000. Obviously, twin Mark 41 VLS. A primary long-range weapon is this. I mean, this is crazy, right? How far we've come. RIM 156A, so it gets a new designation, but it is an SM2ER Block 4. So, SM2 Extended Range Block 4 of. With an effective anti-air range of a staggering 250 nautical miles, 300 statute miles, pretty much as big as my country. Semi-active radar homing, so it does not have its own radar. Again, I didn't think this missile existed. You guys have corrected me, and you said it did actually go into service in small numbers of around 100 were delivered. So it was a real missile. Interestingly, this missile was later in 2013 derived into the missile we now know as the RIM 174 or the SM6. Completely new avionics suite and active radar homing. So really important missile there, viewers. RIM 66M, entering service 1998 for the Block 3 SM2MR. Range stays the same, but I'm sure we've got various other improvements over the previous SM2s. And we've even got to boot a Sea Sparrow launcher in there at 16 miles range. As well as that, naval guns, sea whiz, and various other sharp sticks and rocks to throw at aircraft. So that's it, viewers. That's my summary of AAW weaponry and systems on US and Soviet ships 1960 to 2000 plus and really into modernity now. I find it really interesting because you can literally feel how each missile develops into the next missile, into the next missile, into the next missile, into the next missile, and what we've got here today. Right, viewers, in terms of what we're actually doing today, we'll do one vessel at a time, obviously. The vessel has simply got to defend a target. The target is Felixstowe. I think the largest port in Britain. It's where my parents live actually at the moment. So we've got to defend my parents. It's as simple as that. And obviously I'm going to throw a swarm of bombers at her. It'll be the same for every vessel. They'll start 250 miles out. There will be 50 of them. There'll be Tu-16 Badgers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flights at high altitude, 37,000 feet. And as well as that, below them, 25 Su-24s at low level, slightly faster. So, 25 low level, 25 high level. So, let's get ready for the battle. The ship itself fires the Talos from the rear Mark 40 26 twin-arm launcher there, guidance antenna there and there. We have 2 Mark 26 for the Terrier there and there, guidance antennae there, there, there and there. Here's our big fat radar. And already we found these guys. Look, 195 miles away, we found what are presumably the high-level Badgers. So that's pretty dang impressive, right? Can't do anything with it because we don't have the range. So at this point, we'll speed up. There's the range of our RIM 8. Go. In range, crew's got to busy themselves assembling the massive RIM 8. Here they come, and boomy boomy. Booster section comes off. We're now riding the beam, as it were. Now, if it's riding the beam, viewers, does that mean it has to go direct to target, like in a straight line, or is it more complex than that? It must be more complex than that, right? Oh, the rules I've put in, viewers, are that once a flight of planes, or a type of plane, has got past this coastal artillery here, which is my mother, then that's it. I count when the planes, well, how many planes are left? You know what I'm trying to say. 457 knots. So we're firing a moderately slow missile, very long range, and we can only shoot them 2 at a time. So you can already start to see the problems there. The rate of fire is just going to be so problematic. And the rate of fire is everything, right? Because you remember, viewers, when we did the simulation of Red Storm Rising book, Dance of the Vampires, and we simulated that attack on that US carrier group and French carrier group, missile for missile, ship for ship, attacking aircraft for aircraft. And we found that the massive US fleet, even Aegis equipped, I think, at the time in 1985, just didn't have the ability to defend itself particularly well. It just couldn't get enough missiles up in the air to defend hundreds of attacking vampires. I rerun it. I didn't show it on the video, but I rerun it later with just a few years advance in the late 80s, where the Tycos had Mark 41 VLSs and could fire weapons much quicker. 3 missiles are out. That's interesting. Rate of fire, basically. And it had a massive effect on the defensive ability of the American, I've just got to do these guys, of the American carrier group. So it shows how important rate of fire is, was, always will be. Now, interestingly, I told you it could only ever fire 2 missiles, and I thought that was true, but here's a third. So what's that all about? I don't know. Could it be that it's following one of the beams of the other missile, and then it will switch to a nearby target with its semi-active radar homing terminal section? I don't know. Let me know, please. There we go, they missed. Why did they miss? The missile wouldn't have missed. Instead, it would have been it would be jammers on the aircraft. They can use electronic warfare jammers, and they can use physical jammers, like chaff in the air, both of which will affect these missiles. Now, how much would they affect them? That I don't know. I mean, it's a very complex science, right? I mean, what are you jamming? You're jamming the radar of the ship, or the, you know, receptibility of the ship, but you're not just jamming that. Remember, this missile is in a semi-active radar homing phase, which means it is listening for reflected signals as well. So you're also jamming the missile. How jammable is the missile? Well, I don't know, but the 1955 missile is potentially very jammable, right? Not many planes being blown up. Don't see... Okay, Su-24s coming on scope. I have to designate them because Long Beach can't designate them herself as hostile. For reasons. Another jammed. So far, about 80% of missiles being jammed, which is bad news for Long Beach. Burn through and hit. Burn through and hit. That's a thunking rate warhead on these things. Why do they do semi-active radar homing in the terminal phase, viewers? Well, I believe it's because beam riding simply isn't accurate enough to get the missile within fuse distance. Jammed. Terrier jammed. Terrier jammed. Yeah, I think we're going to see lots of jamming today, viewers. Terrier jammed. This is not going well. 2 more Terriers out. How many can be supported at once? Well, I actually don't know. Is the answer. I don't know if they can do kind of guidance sharing. 2 more rims defeated. I'm not sure we're going to get a single Terrier kill today. He says. So, about 80-90% Terriers so far spoofed. Why can we only see a couple of them and not the whole 25? I don't know, viewers. Probably a limitation of the radar. Spoofed. And spoofed. Oh, dearie me. She is struggling. Terrier, obviously limited by line of sight. Naval gunfire coming in. Probably the best weapon at this point. Naval gunfire going up. More of these. God knows what that missile's doing. Missile gone to space. Oh dear, they're nearly at Mother's house. This is going to be rather embarrassing for me. Right, boom, 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 bombs away. They win. That's disappointing. I can't actually figure out how to make them bomb, viewers, so you just have to pretend they did. I've got to quickly count them. Right, a total of 2 were destroyed. A grand total of 2. Oh dear. Problematic. Right, let them bugger off over the horizon, and in come the high levels. Terriers going out. Low-level guys are already out of Wes by the looks of it. Oh, more coming online. Come on, big radar. More coming online. Oh, spoofed again. Terriers, it looks like they've given up with the Rim 8s at this point. I take that back. They're still shooting at these guys, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we do the same each time, then the test will be fair. Spoofed, spoofed, spoofed. These Terriers are rubbish. They just get jammed every time. 5 missiles in the air. Jet downed. Spoofed. No jamming that. Huh. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1950s or 60s era Terrier. Gosh. Very few Terrier hits today. There's something wrong with our missiles, sir. Alright, that's it. And bombs away. I'm aware there's one back there, but that's a him problem. Let me count. Well, I count 16, and presumably we can see all of them, so that means 9 destroyed, which is actually a little bit better than I was expecting. So, a total of 11 aircraft destroyed. Welcome back, viewers. 1960s Soviet Kynda class cruiser. It's going to be a while before he sees them, and he has a firing range of that, so not very. Some pretty measly 1961 radio command guided missiles. Some interesting talking points about the Kynda cruiser, viewers. 1960s cruiser firing high supersonic anti-ship missiles. I'm reading a book about the moment about UK and a bit of US submarining, 1960s, 1970s, SSKs, SSNs, operating in the Barents Sea, and they would deliberately hunt these cruisers down, not fire at them, but watch them, even during live fire exercises. So these submarines on the blue side, NATO, stalk them silently into the Russian proving ground, watch them fire their missiles. How are they escorted? How do they sail when they're about to fire? What are the timings? What do they look like? So that they knew the exact pattern, the SOPs of how the Soviets would fire in a live fire situation. So that if a war went live, they knew exactly what to look for and when to launch their torpedoes on these Kyndas to stop them firing. So really interesting stuff. Remember already, oh okay, I'm getting some pings already. There we go. Okay, so Long Beach saw them at 200 nautical miles plus. She sees them at, what's that? 70 miles, so much less. Now when's she going to fire? Obviously not until very low down. So presumably this was designed pretty much to sling missiles at US SAGs and aircraft carrier groups. Well, on the plus side, she can designate them herself, so she doesn't need me for anything. Off she goes, 16 miles. Can she even shoot one down? And where does she fire from? Okay, we've got a twin arm launcher on the bow here. There she goes. Goers out. Alright, little command guided missile. Now, how many can she fire at once? I'm guessing just one, which is really problematic for Russia. Is it jammable? Oh, it is jammable. Now, because it's radio command guided, I wouldn't have thought it would be jammable, but let me know your thoughts, viewers. One down. Oh, it's going to be pretty easy to count with her firing just one at a time, viewers. What a pathetic surface-to-air missile system. And look at the reload time on it as well. Oh dear. America are going to win this, hands down. And it's not even going to reach it in time, or is it? No, sorry, that's the rules of the rule. Oh, go on then. I missed anyway. Right, one. He got one. Oh dear. Right, what about the high altitude stuff? We'll find out. I'm not going to count any kills once they pass the bombing area, viewers, because the task is to stop the bombers dropping the bombs. The task is not to just shoot everything down. Obviously, the bombers wouldn't sail back over it. But you know what? It's kind of enlightening, right? Oh, they got one! Very good. Alright, concentrate on your main quarry, which is these guys. It looks like she can designate them herself. I also just noticed she comes with a very small payload of them. Probably about, I don't know, 25? I forgot to check. Yes, this is not going to be the best AAW aircraft, is it? Okay, next set. And these will be easier to take down, presumably? Here we go. Yeah, she can fire at them. So, massive limitation of how many she can fire. Rate of fire, worst we've seen so far. Range, worst we've seen so far. Ability to be spoofed, actually probably better than the American missiles. The American missiles, about 90% were getting spoofed, weren't they? Literally 90%. Oh wow, they're really coming forward now. So one shot down so far, and it's probably going to be a one at max. That is very disappointing. Yeah, just old, crappy 1960s Soviet tech there, I'm afraid, viewers. OP, she's given up. She can fire. She's just given up. Because the bombers are about to get to target. Oh look, they are bombing. What's going on? I didn't realise they actually bombed. Are they bombing? They are bombing! I don't know how I made them do it, viewers. Apparently I did. Sorry, Mum. Anyway, 2 planes shot down. Ouch. Welcome back, viewers. 1970s. We have the Coontz destroyer, chosen for her RIM 67A missiles range, whatever that is. I think it's about 40 miles. And let's go, go, go. Nothing happens until then. All right, here we go. First standard missile of the day. Weapons free. She can fire, but she's not. I think these guys aren't. Oh, there we go. RIM 67A, booster section off. How's it going to do? And spoofed. What a surprise. Next. And spoofed. Oh dear. Again. Spoofed. Oh dear. Spoofed. Not so hot right now, viewers. Right, relying on the old guns, I guess. There they go. We got one. Spoofed. Pretty miserable, viewers. One. We got one. There you go. Ah, this is harder than I thought it was going to be, viewers. Well, that was a bit measly, I'm afraid. God, what is she doing? Duped. Oh dear. Duped. Oh dear. We got one. One down. Duped. And that's it. Bombs away, pause. Sorry viewers, it's a miserable 2. Well, I don't know why that was so bad. Next, Kresta II missile cruiser, 1970s. Missile SAN-3, that range. Fast forward. Entering range, entering Wes. But no line of sight to fire. It looks like they have to turn to a certain angle before they can fire, viewers, which is a bit weird, really. But again, all ships start at the same aspect, so it's, you know, it's a fair test. All right, here we go. First look at the SAN-3 Goblet. Ugly looking missile. Command guided again. Spoofed. Seeing a lot of that today. Presumably only one could be fired at a time again. Didn't kill him. It didn't kill him. It missed. Or it just didn't blow up for some reason. Wow, reload time. Pretty miserable. Now here's a strange thing. She's got 2 arms, but only one's firing. I take that right back. Wow, cool gun. What's that? One down. One missed. And that's it. One was destroyed. One was destroyed. Miserable A. .57 mils, fast firing 57 mil, AK-725. Kind of cool, right? But again, the ship is tactically useless, defending from a bombing raid, right? I mean, all it cares about is stopping bombs getting on that target, and the bombs got on the target. It was no good at shooting the things down. Right, let's wait for the next bunch to come in to see how many of these guys we can take down. Duped. We're going to see a lot of that today, viewers. Go Goblet. Duped. 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 Come on, hit one of them. Come on, 1 kill. Let's get 1 kill. Just the 1. Are we happy with the 1? Yeah, we got 1. I think we can call that within limits, viewers. 2. She got 2. Welcome back. 1980s Leahy class missile cruiser. We're very much in the 1980s and the introduction of the SM-2 missile, viewers. RIM 67B range, 90 or something miles. Target spotted, pretty much the maximum range, 200 nautical miles away, so pretty impressive. But let's go. Entering firing range. And off you go, milady. The time it takes to turn the ship to a broadside chews up valuable seconds. It's a little bit silly, question mark. Maybe you need it to unleash the radars. Alright, here we go. Right, let's see how well these things do. 1 spoof, 1 hit. Okay, 50% spoof rate and 1 kill. So look at the size of the missiles. That's astonishingly big. Missiles out, new designations coming in, and it's not meant to be easy, viewers. I'm not deliberately made the targets easy to kill. You know, you've got this high battle coming in that's relatively easy, and then all of a sudden the low battle comes in. It's designed to be a sort of time on target, nasty attack to defend. Look how many missiles she's supporting at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missiles, all being guidance shared. More missiles, all at once being fired. I mean, it's kind of impressive, right? Here's a question for you, viewers. If a ship radar can guide multiple semi-active radar homing missiles at once, why can't an aircraft radar guide multiple semi-active radar homing missiles at once? Two down. 3 down, I think. Oh, I don't know, I'll have to count them at the end. You leave Felixstowe alone, damn you. Oh, those damn countermeasures, I swear. Gotcha! Spoofed. Gotcha. It's a 50% spoof rate, isn't it, with these missiles? Spoofed. Spoofed. But look how many more missiles she can fire and support in the air at once. I give you the improvements of the 1980s. Gotcha. Splash. Where did the word splash come from, viewers? Was it when a naval fighter shot down a naval fighter and it made a splash in the water, I'm guessing? Okay, full burn through now. Jammers are having no effect. He says, as one is jammed. Dognammit. Well, you know what? We've done a lot better than we've seen so far, Viewingtons. Watching a series about Lockerbie at the moment, viewers. If you know that, 1988, a Pan Am 747 was shot down over Britain. Really interesting. She's had to turn again because here's a weakness. Because the planes have kind of gone around her on radial, she's had to turn the ship so she can get within firing parameters again. I mean, that's a real weakness, right? That's something to think about. I will let the missiles hit home. Alright, I've got to count now, viewers. 17, so 8 Su-24s were shot down. 8, that's, yeah, that's the best so far. Very, very, very good. What a marked improvement, viewers. Right, let's let them get out of wares and then let's start on the other ones. We don't have to worry about running out of ammo. No, nothing will run out of ammo today, viewers. Wow, and look how good the American Sea Whiz is. It just blatted those two suckers down. Here's another thing we're also testing. It's the ability for the ship to turn quickly. Which is important in real life. It delays it being able to fire its missiles. So that's another thing we're testing. Lots of things we're testing today. So it can't start firing on these guys because it's stern on until it turns around. I mean, that's something I never would have thought of, but it's, you know, you don't necessarily know where the baddies are coming from if they come low and over the horizon. Anyway, stop firing at those guys, they're dead. Start firing at these guys. And if you're thinking at home, oh, you set the attack up badly, you've made it really difficult. Yeah, that's the idea. I've done that on purpose. Missed. Wow, a whole bunch going up. Can't wait to see the VLS now. Bunch more going up. Bunch missed. Bunch not missed. And I will let the missiles hit. Miss. Miss. And that's it. Right, let me count. 15. 10 shot down, viewers. 10 shot down. So 18. What a massive improvement over everything we've seen so far. 1980s and apparently best 80s. Next, viewers, Soviet 1980s Slava guided missile cruiser. Firing range of 50 or so miles that speed things up. Now, at the same time, or even several years before this, viewers, the Americans had SM-2 with a range of 90 miles, nearly double of what the Slava can fire at, so that's something to consider. Entering firing range, you set weapons free. Rotary VLS, amidships here. Go, madame. And presumably she won't need to turn, having a VLS. But I don't actually know if that's true. Maybe she has to turn because of a fire control radar. I don't know, we'll see. Here we go. Missile out, S-300 out. Wow, that's fast. 4,000 knots apparently. 4,000 knots. That doesn't sound right to me at low level, but you can be the judge of that. And it is not jammed. I suspect this is going to do very well. And jammed. Hit. Wow. Coming online now. Missed. Right, I haven't been really checking the rate of hits, but I'm guessing about 50-50, which would keep it in line with the SM-2. Interestingly, she can't see the big bombers up here, even at 30 miles, so that's disappointing. Our rate of fire is excellent, so this is our first look at VLS today, and you can already see how powerful it is. Just pumping missiles out. Spectacular. Gotcha. Oh, this is going to win it. Huge fire rate. Guidance is pretty top notch. Semi-active radar homing. Missiles. Struggling to keep up with designating. It's going to shoot them all down, isn't it? It's going to shoot them all down. Watch from here. Well, parents may be safe for the first time, viewers. Jamming becoming ineffective at this range. Check the big bombers. Oh, here they come. Right, better get them sorted. It's gonna kill them all. She's gonna kill them all. Freaking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Das ist jetzt unglaublich. Oh, one of them crashed into Mum's house. Sorry about that. I'll let the missile hit. And stop. Jesus Christ. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we may have found our winner, viewers. That is just absolutely incredible. And she's just going to shoot them all down, right down now. Over Felix though. Right, now she's got to start on the bombers, which I need to pause and go and redesignate. Oh no, don't, because they're not there. Right. Look how she just divides targets up omnidirectionally. I'm not sure why she can't see many of these bombers. She doesn't need to at the moment, but missed. Missed. Well, at least it's not just the American missiles that are getting fooled. Hit. She might run out of missiles at this rate. Missed. Designate some more. Lots of misses. Interesting. I wonder if it's because the slant range is high. Hit. She's got 19 left. I don't think she's got enough missiles to do this. Missed. Duped. Duped. Wow. Not duped. Still, it's not a good enough kill rate in my opinion. Too much duping going on, viewers. She's definitely got the fire rate for it. Possibly the tracking rate. But has she got enough missiles to do it? It's the first time the bombers have really been threatened. They've got a long way to go yet. The closer they get, the lower the slant range, the less effective their decoys are going to be. I suspect she's going to take them all down. She's run out of ammo. She's using her AK-130. And these guys here, presumably, don't have the altitude. That's the first... Oh, I don't know. Well, it showed the crazy effectiveness of the S-300, but she needed more to do the job. This does not look a very effective weapon at all. And that's it. Pause. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 18 destroyed. Alright, 1990s, continuing the theme of VLS. Here we go. What do we got here? All done. Need to designate. Wow. Tyco VLS is picking these guys up at the maximum range, whatever that is, I can't read it. So she's just let down by the range of a missile of 90 miles, so let's speed up. Still tracking those targets, can't see the low ones because of over the horizon, obviously, and here they come. Here's the thing, viewers, if she wastes all of her missiles now, they might all be jammed. Remember, the jamming effectiveness is, well, it appears to be proportional with range. So if she fires all of her missiles now, she's going to waste them all because they're all going to be duped, right? But I don't want to start interfering because, you know, I can't bias towards one vessel, it's not fair. Now, I was asking earlier, how many can she guide at once? Well, it appears she can guide the world's supply of missiles at once. I was unaware she could guide that many. I assumed there was a limit, but I guess I was wrong. Well, I presume she's fired 25 missiles at 25 targets, which is uber good. Right, tell me they're not all going to be jammed. Enjoy. Possibly. "25 missiles, 1 kill. 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. 5. I mean, it's a pretty... I don't know. I take it back. They did pretty damn well. Probably about 60% dupe rate. No, 50% dupe rate. Alright. And then up go a bunch more missiles for the survivors. That's pretty unbeatable, to be honest. God, she's going again. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mark 41 VLS. What a frigging beast by the looks of it. Almost all. Just 4 survived up here. Now I'm worried about the supply of missiles. She's down to 35. She's just absolutely going for them. 2 down. Where the hell is this missile going? Oh, look, it arcs up like that. Why not? Why not? 3 down. Oh dear, I need to sneeze. Sneezing done. We're all getting another cold yet again, viewers, in my house. Non-stop illness. And that baby around. Miss. Now, is it going to be as good as Slava? Miss. Too much jamming. Let's see how Amma's a blind. Once she's out, she's out. She had 90 missiles, I think it was. 19 missiles left. Must do better, milady. Must do better. She's got to turn. Look, she's happened to turn herself, look. So that suggests that she's still using her fire control radar here to get line of sight. I'm not sure she's going to do as well as Slava, you know. She's got onto her gun. She's withholding her missiles now for some reason. Don't know why. And that's it. And that's disappointing, viewers. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's the same. 4. That is the same. That is. No, it's one worse. No, it isn't. It's the same. 21. The same as Slava. How interesting. Right. Well, it appears one VLS is as good as the other VLS. Pretty fly for a nice guy. Alright, there you go. What about the bombers? Let's see the bombers. How many bombers got through? Badgers, I mean. I am a badger. There's only one left, look. That's it. All 25 dead big bombers down. So against the lower target, she was the same as Slava. Against the higher target, she was brilliant. Took all 25 down, and they, apart from a bugged one, didn't even get anywhere near. So very, very impressive, viewers. Welcome back. 1990s. Kirov. I'm still not sure whether this was a real fit or not, but I've gone for it. It has S300, it has its Gecko, and it has, if you can see it, 48 gargoyles. So let's see what happens. Gargoyle, maximum firing range about 80 miles. Getting on parallel with America's SM2 targets and designate. Still the best radar so far has been the VLS equipped Ticonderoga. Targets coming into firing range. Oh wow, that was quick. Okay, we have, I'm assuming gargoyles. Gargoyles! And a lot of them. Enough for as many targets as she can identify. Now, how well are they going to be duped? Ooh, pretty good. Pretty good. Certainly pumping them out. These guys here. Pop. Pop. Big raid coming in. She has, get her, 29 gargoyles left. She actually barely started. Bomb. 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 Miss. Miss. Double KO. Hit. Miss. Miss. Hit. 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 Miss, miss. Hit. She's going to be the first one to stop the first raid. And pause. Raid 1 dealt with. Amazing. Alright. Raid 2. Go. Now it appears she's run out of gargoyles and she's on to S300F. But spoof. Spoof. Lots of spoofing going on. Little bit of killing going on. More gargoyles, so she still does have gargoyles, and they're pretty damn effective. Yep, plenty more gargoyles. Mixed in with this 300Fs. You'll probably agree. Miss. Oh, even naval gun going. I don't know, it might make it through. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'll allow that last one to hit. Miss. 2 survive, so 23. So she got 25 and 23. Last raid of the day, viewers, and welcome to the 2000s. Year 2000 commissioned the first flight to a Arleigh Burke with 8 RIM 156A super long range missiles, 46 RIM 66 long range missiles. Oh, only 8 RIM 7 Sea Sparrows for close range. I don't think she's got enough missiles for this. There we go, stop! Okay, for some reason she could only see them right there, so be it. Pause. What range was that out of interest? It was 30 miles. That doesn't sound right. But, okay. Carry on, I guess. Designate. Just double check her radar is on. Her radar is indeed on. There you go. Small radar. Bunch of missiles out. Assume SM2. How are these going to be jammed? We'll see. Some hits. More designating to do. Duped. Badger's coming online. Well, we get some lovely views of the Suffolk countryside today, viewers. Which I feel is important for morale. For the ratings. Oh, she's really dispatched them with moderate ease, hasn't she, viewers? 3 more to go. That's pretty good, but I worry about her ammo supplies because she's used a lot against this first raid. The 156s are up, the 3 SM6s are up. Raid 1 destroyed. Fully destroyed. Debatably the best one yet. So well done, Arleigh Burke. But she's a small ship ammo-wise. Let me check. Oh dear, she's out of SM2. We found this problem when she was fighting the Slava cruiser and the Kirov battle cruiser in a surface versus surface fight. She held her own and gave them a bloody nose, but she always struggled when, for running out of ammo. Shoot that raid. I mean, there's a lot of kills there, look. Stuff's happening. More raid coming online. Whoa, more raid coming online. I just don't think she's got anything to shoot at them with. Oof, out of ammo. Well, I did say no one would run out of ammo today, viewers, but it appears I was wrong. Now, can Sea Sparrow have any effect? Let's see the range for Sea Sparrow. She was killing perfectly, just not enough ammo. Sea Sparrow's not going to fire. Free fire. There we go. I believe she did a thing. Now, how well are these going to track? Don't be duped. Don't all be duped. Oh, they all got duped. Couple of kills. She's got nothing left. Naval gun. Will that work? Come on, 5-incher. I mean, she had the best kill rate of the war so far. In terms of, missiles. You know what I'm trying to say. How well she was taking them down. There's no doubt about it. But she just didn't have the ammo. And remaining were 1, 2... Oh, hang on. I think there's something wrong with her radar. Oh my god! I was not expecting that, Viewingtons. I thought the game had crashed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 survived. She even got blown up. That's a real smack in the mouth, isn't it? So 25. That's a sad splash screen to end on, isn't it? I'm just doing the adding up. 3. Right, you may have to check my maths here, viewers, but 1960s, Long Beach got an extremely impressive, for the time, 2 low level and 9 high level, total 11 shot down. Well done, madam. The Kynda, very disappointing. 1 high level, 1 low level. Next, 1970s. Coontz class got an incredibly disappointing 1 high level, 1 low level, 2. Kresta got 1 high level, 1 low level, 2. Next, Leahy got 8 low level, 10 high level. That's a total of 18. Well done, Mom. Our first VLS today, Slava cruiser. 21 low level, 18 high level, giving a total of 39. So best one yet. Incredibly impressive. 1990s VLS Tycho. We have 21 low level, 25 high level, total 46. 46 shot down, well done. Next, 1990s Kirov, 25 low level, 23 high level, total 48 shot down, 48. Finally, Destroyer, best kill rate, there's no doubt about it. 25 low level shot down, only 18 high level shot down. She ran out of ammo, 43. So, overall, Super Kirov won, but I'm still not fully aware whether this existed or not, so I'm waiting for your feedback on that. Apart from that, Tycho 1990s VLS won. The next, Arleigh Burke, was third, but ran out of ammo. Fourth was Slava, which definitely did exist. And next, all the way back to the 1960s, was Long Beach, and the other three were basically terrible. That's as close as I can do to what you wanted, viewers. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll learn something along the way. Bye-bye.